If you've seen our program on today's light-duty truck market, you know that all kinds of people are buying all kinds of trucks for all kinds of reasons. And you also know that you have an opportunity for increased sales. You don't need an advanced marketing degree to take advantage of it. What you do need is to quickly recognize the key differences among these people so that you can present the right product features to the right buyers right away. What you're after is a knowledge of what they need in a truck and also what they want. What they want to know most is how a truck is going to help them solve a problem, meet a set of needs, or satisfy a desire. Now, this sounds logical and easy, but often it's not, because buyers come in all shapes and sizes with all kinds of personalities and all kinds of attitudes. At times, you require the skills of a psychologist, a diplomat, a counselor, a transportation consultant, and a business person. Each time you do a product presentation, you have to prove that your truck is the best choice. Watch and listen.
Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. This is not a little truck. It's a compact, but it's not little. Here, this calculator, it's a compact too. And it's amazing, it really is. It can do things that not even a computer the size of this truck could do 20 years ago. And you see, that's my point. This S10 pickup can do the job of a bigger truck and put the savings directly into your pocket. You can't believe it, huh? Well, tell me something. What have you got in your full-size pickup over there? Shingles? Okay, looks like about, say, 1,000, maybe 1,200 pounds. Would you say that's about an average payload? Well, what would you say if I told you this S10 is equipped to handle 1,625 pounds? And the cargo bed itself is more than a foot longer than the box on your full-size short bed. Man, I'm telling you, this is a lot of truck. But that's just the beginning. Come on over here and take a closer look. For one thing, that payload rating is net. That means when you add options like a rear step bumper, the V6 engine, or whatever, you don't lose any weight from the payload. It's a true rating. And under here, supporting that big load, there's a ladder-type frame joined by a series of cross members. Hey, I'm talking maximum strength here. Another thing, which of you guys owns that full size over there? Yeah, the one with the cargo box that's kind of listing to the right. Hey, no offense, we all know that's common on older trucks. You see it all the time. It's because the cargo box and the cab are mounted to the frame on separate brackets. After a couple of years of hauling uneven loads, it's easy to see how the box can get twisted out of kilter. Now, this S10 uses single-piece mounting brackets, one on each side of the frame. The result of the whole setup is a cargo box that's going to ride on an even keel through a lot of years of work. Up top, the cargo box sidewalls are made of double-walled galvanized steel to protect the outside looks and to fight rust. This truck was built to do a job for you. So what do we know? We know my S10 can cost you less, last longer, work harder, and look better in the process. Now I'm going to show you a few things under the hood, like the optional V6 with electronic...
What you've just seen is a man selling a truck. Not the way you would, perhaps, but selling nevertheless. It's clear who his prospects are, even though we don't see them. That's because he knows who they are and has focused his presentation accordingly. He keeps it focused on the features that matter most. The man is target truck selling. That time, his target was people who use pickups for work. Contractors, farmers, carpenters, the people who carry tools and building materials. They do hard physical work and demand trucks that work hard too. Knowing this, our salesperson concentrated first on the features that make Chevy pickups valuable to these particular prospects. In this case, payload, frame and box construction, power, and so on. He was able to do that because he knows his product and his prospect. He can discuss payloads with confidence. He knows what he's got and how it stacks up against the competition. He has a good truck to sell, and he can prove it, feature by feature, right down the line. A good presentation is a challenge that hinges on who you're selling to and what their needs are. Let's see how our man targets the needs of a different buyer, a young couple at odds over a lack of cargo room in their passenger car.
Whoa, time out. Gene, Bob, I think this truck might be the answer to the problem you're having with your car's lack of trunk space. Now, as I understand it, Bob, you keep the clubs and the tennis gear stashed in the trunk for quick office getaways. And Gene, you'd like Bob to get that stuff out of there so you can finally finish that landscaping project, right? Oh, I see. It's a job that Bob has promised to finish, but he has a tendency to slip off to the back nine. Okay. Well, take a look in here. Now, because this is a maxi cab, this seat leans forward. And back here, there's more than 18 cubic feet of lockable space. Plenty of room for a couple of sets of golf clubs, Bob. Oh, and Gene, several flats of geraniums, bags and bags of fertilizer. Now, since you're both accustomed to cars, you'll be interested to know that maxi cab can be equipped with rear jump seats. That gives you seating for up to 4, and they fold neatly away into the sidewalls when you don't need them. And up front, you're going to feel like you're in a car, too. These bucket seats give good lumbar support. And they recline. And just like your car, you can have air conditioning, cruise control, intermittent wipers, AM/FM stereo with cassette, everything you're accustomed to, and more. And Bob, you can have this maxi cab in a choice of 4 trim levels with a variety of real sharp paint combinations. Inside, you can have full carpeting, cloth seats. Matter of fact, I got a super sharp two-tone on a lot that, oh, practical, right? Gene, this truck can be equipped to carry 1,000 or 1,500 pounds. And that's probably about 10 times as much grass seed as your car's trunk can handle in one trip. Sure, Bob, you can carry a motorized golf cart back there, no problem. Matter of fact, Gene, with this cargo bed, one trip to the landscaping supply could just about finish that project of yours. Bob's. Yours? Yours and Bob's.
There it is. The same salesperson selling basically the same truck, but what a difference. And that's because the buyer's needs are different. In both cases, he relates the product's features directly to the buyer's needs. People who buy trucks for personal use often have needs relating to family or personal transportation. Many, like Bob and Gene, are interested in how a truck's versatility is going to suit them. But there are other prospects who look at trucks strictly by the numbers. And these people need to know in black and white how your product fits into their equation.
Now, sir, let's see. Your maximum payload for feed deliveries, 1,200 pounds. Average round trip per delivery, 65 miles. Your full size are giving you an average of 12 miles per gallon. Fuel and maintenance costs should be a definite savings. Mr. Johnson, these are rough figures, but even a conservative reading tells me you're currently paying for more truck than you need. I can show you how this S10 can save you money. Oh, yes, sir, it can do the job. This S10 pickup is equipped to handle a 1,500-pound payload. Now, that's safely above your maximum delivery weight. And beyond that, you want to cut your operating costs on your fleet. Now, this S10's EPA rating is 2 to 3 miles per gallon better than what you said you're getting now. And based on an average round trip of 65 miles, you'd save approximately 1 gallon of gas per average delivery, or about 20% on fuel costs. Overall weight reduction in the vehicle is one reason. Another is electronic fuel injection instead of a carburetor. You know how much vehicle downtime eventually gets traced to the carbs, linkage, chokes, and so on. Not to mention the time the men in the shop have to spend tinkering on the problem. Well, those headaches are cured with electronic fuel injection. This S10 has a V6 with EFI, replacing the conventional carburetor. You see, sir, these simple injectors, think of them as shower nozzles, replace all of the complicated parts in a carburetor. Electronic fuel injection constantly and automatically fine-tunes the amount of fuel and air delivered to the engine, and that means optimum efficiency. It's like having your mechanic under the hood all the time.
That prospect views his trucks as part of his business, the same way he looks at other pieces of machinery as an investment that has to pay off. These are the people who buy chassis cabs, cargo vans, and medium duties. And our salesperson knows what the prospect wants, and just as importantly, he knows why. So he targets his presentation and translates truck features into bottom-line benefits. Of course, every prospect is concerned with the bottom line, but as we've seen, the major product features that can make or break the sale are different with different people. So let's take a look at another kind of prospect, the recreational truck buyer.
Excuse me, folks. Why don't you come over here for a minute? While there's a break in the action, I'd like to talk to you. All right? Let me ask you, how many of you trucked up here in a 4x4? I know, silly question, isn't it? There's no other way to get up to this place. But what I'd really like to know is, how many of you had to stop down there at the cutoff, get out in that muck, and lock up the hubs? Just a few. Rest of you must be driving Chevy S10s, right? Thought so. Well, I can tell who you deprived ones are by the crust on your boots. Well, I've got something here that'll keep the insides of your buggies cleaner. Come on and take a look. No, it's not a carpet cleaner. It is the ultimate 4x4 system, Chevy's InstaTrack. This system lets you shift from 2 high to 4 high while you're moving at any speed. Getting into 4-wheel drive is that simple. And there's even a lighted indicator to let you know at a glance what mode you're in. So there's no more wading through the muck to lock them up. You're in and out of 4-wheel without getting out of the truck. 4 low, it's another simple shift. Just stop the truck, put it in neutral, and shift. No hubs to wrestle with. It works on an automatic locking front differential and synchronized transfer case. And that's not all. Chevy S10s are serious off-roaders. This truck's outfitted with a special off-road chassis package. Nobody else offers anything quite like it. Now look at the tires, folks.
S10 pickups. One model line, 4 very different selling approaches, each targeted to the particular needs of the prospect. Is our man the definitive example of how it's done? No, of course not. And sure, in any given presentation, your prospect may have needs that cross into various buyer groups. The demonstrations we've just seen aren't intended to tell you how to present, but they do make a point. It is the prospect that really determines the content of each product presentation. That's in essence what we mean by target truck selling. It's merely a way of strategically focusing your efforts so you can sell more trucks. Executing a solid product presentation is hard work. Your chances of success are much greater if you're prepared, if you really understand your products. That's why it's crucial to study your 1987 Chevy Truck Facts Book and the 1987 Chevy Truck Target Selling Guide. Additional programs on these video discs review major selling features of Chevy trucks and why those features are important to certain buyers. The programs are designed to help you put an edge on your product knowledge. And remember, every opportunity to present your product is a challenge. Target your efforts in 1987 and make every shot your best.